ስርዓት ዘርግታችኋል ወይ ሁሉንም የሚያቅፍ የሚሰበስብ ሁሉም ደስ የሚያሰኝ ልክ እንደ ድሮ ኢትዮጵያዊነትን የሚል አማራነትን ብቻ ሳይሆን ኢትዮጵያዊነትን የሚል ፕሮግራም አላችሁ ወይ ብዬ ጠየቅኩት። ለዛ ነበረ። እርሶ ከሚነግሩኝ ደግሞ የፌስቡክ ገጻችሁ ይጣረሳል። የአማራ ብሔራዊ ንቅናቄ ገጽ ላይ ሄጃለሁ። ሰው በተፈጥሮ ፈጣሪውን ማክበር እንዳለበት ሁሉ ኢትዮጵያም ፈጣሪዋን አማራን ማክበር አለባት ይላል። ይሄ እንዴት አድርጎ ከሌላ ብሔር ጋር ተስማማችኋል?
መሰረታዊ እንትኑ ምንድነው? ይሄን ያሉት አንድ ድርጅታችን አመራር ናቸው።
ጋሻው መርሻ የአብን ጉዳይ ኃላፊ።
መሰረታዊ ስቴትመንቱን ስታዩ ስተት ነው ብለሽ ምታልፊው ባይሆንም ከዚህ በተሻለ አገላለጽ መገለጽ ይችል እንደነበር አስባለሁ።
እንዴት ተደርጎልሽ?
ፈጣሪ ሲባል መፍጠር ከመለኮታዊነቱ ጋር የተያዘውን አይደለም። እዚህ ጋር ሀገር መስራች ህዝብ ነው የአማራ ህዝብ አይደል? ኢትዮጵያን በመመስረት ሂደት ሰፊ አስተዋጽኦ አበርክቷል የሚለውን ለመግለጽ ለማሳየት ነው። ስለዚህ የአማራ ህዝብ ኢትዮጵያን በመፍጠሩ ሂደት ጉልህ ድርሻ ተጫውቷል የሚለውን ከኮት ተደርጋ ብቻዋን ከኮንቴክስት ውጭ ስለተጻፈች ብዙ ሰው ሲያነጋግር ነበር።
ከኮንቴክስት ውጭ አልወጣም። ደግሞ አለው ሰው በተፈጥሮ ፈጣሪውን ማክበር እንዳለበት ሁሉ ኢትዮጵያም ፈጣሪዋን አማራን ማክበር አለባት። ስለዚህ አማራ ኢትዮጵያን ፈጥራለች ብለው ያስባሉ። ግልጽ በሆነ ቋንቋ አርሳምሩበት።
የአማራ ህዝብ ኢትዮጵያን በመመስረት ሂደት የአንበሳውን ድርሻ ተጫውቷል።
ይሄ ታዲያ ቅድም እንዳልኩት ከሌላ ብሔር ጋር እንዴት ያኗኑሯችኋል? እንዴት ሳርጎ እንደ ፓርቲ ቀላቅላችኋል? እንደገናስ ደግሞ ይሄን ሐሳብ ይዞስ እንዴት አገር ይመራል?
ኢትዮጵያን በመፍጠር ሂደት ውስጥ ትልቅ አስተዋጽኦ አለን ማለት ሌሎችን ለምን ያስከፋል?
ለሚለው እንደዛም ቢሆን ያስከፋል። ኢትዮጵያን በመፍጠር ቀዳሚውን ቦታ እንይዛለን ብሎ ሰው ክሬዲቱን ከወሰደ ሌሎችን
አንዳንዴ የሆነን ገለጻ የሆነን ኮድ ምትረጅበት መንገድ ወይም ለመረዳት ምትፈልጊበት መንገድ ይወስነዋል።
ዶክተር ግልጽ እኮ ነው። እዚህ ላይ ደግሞ ያነበብኩሎት ነው። ግልጽ እኮ ነው።
ኮንቴክስቱን ላሰውም
እያሉኝ ነው።
ኢትዮጵያን በመመስረት ባዩ በመፍጠርም ባዩ ሀገር ይፈጠራል አይደል? God created Dutch, the Dutch created the Netherlands ይላሉ ፈረንጆቹ። ፈጣሪ ደቾችን ፈጠረ፣ ደቾች ደግሞ ኔዘርላንድ የምትባል ሀገር ፈጠረ ይባላል። ኢትዮጵያውያን ናቸው የፈጠሯት አይደል? በዚህ የመፍጠር ወይም ኢትዮጵያን የማቆም ሂደት ውስጥ የአማራ ህዝብ ትልቅ ድርሻ ተጫውቷል።
እሱን ያብራሩ።
ትልቅ ድርሻ አበርክቷል።
በምን እሱን ያብራሩ። በሁሉም ነገር አይሰራም። ያድበስባሽ ቃል ነው የሚሆነው። በምን
So she asked him, በምንድን ነው አማሮች ወይስ እንዴት ነው አማሮች ኮንትሪቢዩት ያደረጉት ኢትዮጵያን በመፍጠር እንዴት ነው አማሮች ኢትዮጵያን የፈጠሯት የሚለውን ጥያቄ እኔ ራሴ I will answer it. The meaning of ኢትዮጵያ የሚለው ቃል ራሱ ትግሬውን ብትጠይቁት burn face ብሎ ቶሎ ይመልሳል። ነገር ግን burn face አይደለም፣ ግሪክኛም አይደለም ኢትዮጵያ። However, Ethiopia isn't a Greek word, but Hebrew. The opposition of the Hebrew word says, say, although Moses spoke Hebrew and the author of the 5 books of the Old Testament he used the word Ethiopia it appears many times in the Torah. The opposition to the Hebrew would argue that Moses wrote Cush instead of Ethiopia. I oppose that argument and would add that those who say Ethiopia isn't Hebrew actually do not speak Hebrew and therefore had not read the Dead Sea Scroll and older scriptures. And this is how Ethiopia is written in Hebrew. You can see from right to left, and it's actually 2 words, et and yofi. And abrarallah. In fact, even በእንግሊዘኛ ኢትዮጵያ ሲጻፍ there's a H, ETH. What's the meaning of the H? Because it's actually from the Hebrew. It says et is the direct object connector. When you take grammar in Hebrew, That's the first thing. That's one of the first things that you would learn. And the H is በእንግሊዘኛ the equivalent of the. So et ha yofi. No. So here the H directly comes from the Hebrew. That's why the Faranjochu, Ethiopian Sisofu, they always add the H there. And so below you can see how the letter F is the same letter as the letter P in Hebrew. It is important to note that the dot added below and into the Hebrew letter were introduced by Rabbinic Judaism, therefore didn't exist in the time of Moses, or even during the entire Old Testament period, because the Rabbinic Judaism came after the Babylonian era, with the Pharisaean and everything else. So we're going to read, and Yofi is written this way, it means beautiful, beauty in Hebrew. So when we read these verses, በግዕዝ በአማርኛ ለጥፌዋለሁ. So clearly there were 4 rivers, and there were Fison, Gion, Tigris, and Euphrates. And there's a pattern here. Fison was Midra Eulaton. Gion was Midra Ethiopia. Tigris was Midra Asor, Fars. Asor is actually a person. We will cover it later. Eulatonim is a person. Euphrates was in Eden Gannat. So clearly the location of these rivers were given in pattern. Eulaton is a person name. Ethiopia is not a person name. Asor is a person name. And Eden is not a person name. Now, some will argue that Moses did not write Ethiopia for the location of the river Gion, but instead he wrote Cush. Here is why putting Cush would not have made any sense. Now, Eulaton is a person name. Ethiopia is not. Asor is a person. And so I'm repeating that. መጽሐፈ ዜና ምዕራፍ 1 ጥቅስ 4 ኖህ፣ ሴም፣ ካም፣ ያፌት. We are going to focus on Sem and Nakam, obviously. So clearly Kam is the father of Cush. መጽሐፈ ዜና ምዕራፍ 1 ጥቅስ 8 የካም ልጆች ኩሽ፣ ምጽራይም፣ ፋጥ፣ ከነአን. So just so we are on the same page, Mizraim, which is Egypt today, Mizraim is the brother of Cush. So here we learn that Cush is the son of Cam, who is the son of Noah. የኩሽም ልጆች ሳባ፣ ኤውላጦን፣ ሰብታ፣ ረአማ፣ ሰብቃታ። የረአማም ልጆች ሳባ፣ ድዳን. Clearly here Eulaton is the son of Cush. Therefore it would be meaningless for Moses to place river Gion in the land of Cush and place river Fison in the land of the son of Cush, who himself is Eulaton. That's why he wrote Eulaton, not Cush, for Eulaton, meaning they're the same race, same family structure. Clearly we learned that Asor is the son of Sem, who himself is the son of Noah. So it is clear that Moses uses the location to locate these rivers based on where the descendants of Noah settled after the flood. So if Cush settled by the river Gion, why say river Fison was in Midra Eulaton? Rabbinic Judaism has attempted to erase Ethiopia from the Bible, and has also made another adjustment over time. It replaced Eulaton by Havila. Here I would like to touch up a little bit. Rabbinic Judaism is using Masoretic Bible, which was written 500 years after Christ in Hebrew, and Ethiopians, Amharas, we are using a pre-Septuagint Bible, which is written before 300 years before Christ, even before that. That's the Greek Septuagint Bible was 300 years before Christ. Yenya Yamaroch Bible is even be older than that. So here we go. So you can read what all the other evidence and where Amara comes from, because ዘራችን የሚመጣው ከነዚህ ጥቅሶች ውስጥ ነው። and I'll cover it from አለቃ ታየ መጽሐፍ። this is የአለቃ ታየ መጽሐፍ በ1922 የታተመ ነው። የታተመውም በአስመራ ነው። የተጻፈው ግን በ1914 ነው። አለቃ ታየ የኢትዮጵያ ሕዝብ ታሪክ በፈረንጆችም ተጽፏል። ያው 1922 Swedish mission አስመራ ይላል። Okay, so we're going to go and cover the Tigray history and the Amhara history. So this is the Tigray ሕዝብ ታሪክ ይላል። You have 5 minutes to read it. It's not very long. You can pause the screen to read it if you want. We're going to go to the Amhara history as well. So you can pause the screen and read it for yourself, so to save time. Okay, it kills me that Tigrayot they claim Aksum as their pride and as if they created or established Aksum, but not a single Tigray will tell you the meaning of Aksum. But there are millions of Amhara will tell you exactly what Aksum, the word, means, because they actually established Aksum themselves. Aksum actually is a Hebrew word. It's not even Tigrinya. Stupid people ask the following questions. They speak Amharic, Amarinya, the Amhara language, but ask what did Amhara contributed. They eat injera every day, an Amhara cuisine, because no teif has ever been produced in Tigray. But they ask what did Amharas contributed. They use bir, the currency created by Amharas, to buy goods and services, but still ask, what did Amharas contributed? They say they are proud to be free Ethiopians, a freedom they owe to the brave Amharas who fought and sacrificed their lives to keep Ethiopia free. All of those who critique Amharas today actually got their education free of tuition from schools established by Amharas. The latest Tigrayan contribution to Ethiopia is Isaias dividing Ethiopia from Eritrea, and a 30 years hell under Hawat and Meles Zenawi. Let us not forget that Isaias Afwerk was a student in Addis Ababa before he became an enemy of Ethiopia. P.S. Did you know he is actually Tigray? Let us not forget that Meles Zenawi also was a student of these Amhara established schools, which never charged these two men any school tuition like the Westerners often do. Stupid people stupid people say, how dare these Amharas claim Ethiopia to themselves when the OLF was created by a Gala, namely Wako Guto, a terrorist backed by Somalia. So when Ethiopia was fighting Somalians, Oromos were not on our side. Okay. Let's touch up on history a little bit. Grai Muhammad invaded Ethiopia. The king of Ethiopia at the time was an Amhara, and he had established a good relationship with the Portuguese, which sent help and successfully killed the Grai Muhammad. Basically, we don't owe anything to the Tigray, Oromos, Gurage, or anyone else. We Amhara actually dealt with the problem. The Galas, Oromos, priorly known Galas, then they changed it to Orma. Orma, we went to Oromos, invaded Ethiopia shortly after the defeat of Grai Muhammad in the 16th century. The king at the time was an Amhara. he was able to regain some of the lands the Oromos took by force and keep the country as one Ethiopia. Introduction to Amhara and Oromo problem.
በዘመናዊት ኢትዮጵያ ታሪክ ከኢጣሊያ ወራሪዎች ውስጥ ሳሜ ዘመነ መሳፍንትን በዘመናዊት ኢትዮጵያ ታሪክ ወራሪው ማን ነው? ተወራሪዎቹስ? በዘመናዊት ኢትዮጵያ ታሪክ ከሰሜን እስከ ደቡብ ከምስራቅ እስከ ምዕራብ ታላቅ የህዝብ ቅልቅል ተካሂዷል። ከነዚህ ምክንያቶች መካከል የአህመድ ግራኝ ወረራ፣ የኦሮሞ ወረራ፣ በዘመነ መሳፍንት የነበሩት የእርስ በርስ ጦርነቶች፣ ፍጻሜ ዘመነ መሳፍንትን ያበሰሩት የማዕከላዊ መንግስትን እንደገና የማዋቀር ጦርነቶች እንዲሁም ሁለቱ የጣሊያ ወረራዎች የሚጠቀሱ ናቸው። እነዚህ ጦርነቶችና የእርስ በርስ ግጭቶች ከፍተኛ ቁጥር ያለውን የህዝብ ክፍል ህይወት እንዳሳጡ አይካድም። ያንንም ተከትሎ ከኑሮ አስገዳኝነትና በአገዛዝ ኃይሎች የበላይነት የያዘው አካል በሚፈጥረው የፖለቲካ አሰላለፍ መለዋወጥ ምክንያት የአንዱ ጎሳ ወይም ነገድ አባሎች በከፊልም ሆነ ሙሉ በሙሉ የመጥፋት ጉዳት ደርሶባቸዋል። በዚህ ረገድ ከኢትዮጵያ ዋና ዋና ነገዶችና ጎሳዎች መካከል በምዕራብ ኢትዮጵያ ነዋሪ የነበሩት የጋፋት ነገድ በኦሮሞ ወረራ ሙሉ በሙሉ እንዲጠፉ ሆነዋል ወይንም ማንነታቸውን ተገደው ለውጠው ኦሮሞዎች ወይም አማሮች ወይም በሌላ ነገድ ስም ይጠራሉ። የሚያ ነገድ ተወላጆች ደግሞ በግራኝ አህመድኛ በኋላም ተከትሎ በመጣው በኦሮሞ ወረራ ምክንያት ቁጥራቸው በእጅጉ ተመናምኖ ዛሬ በዝዋይ ሐይቅ ውስጥ በሚገኙ ደሴቶች እና አካባቢው ብቻ ተወስነው ይገኛሉ። ጥንት ባሌ እና ፈጠጋር አርሲ ተስፋፍቶ ይኖሩ የነበሩ ሀዲያዎችና ከምባታዎች በኦሮሞ ወረራ ተጨፍልቀው ኦሮሞዎች ሲባሉ ቀሪ ወገኖቻቸው በደቡብ ምዕራብ ሸዋ በአንድ ጠባብ አካባቢ በተጨናነቀ ሁኔታ እንዲኖሩ ተገደዋል። ከዚህ በተጨማሪም አርጎባዎች፣ ቀቤናዎች፣ ወርጂዎች፣ አላባዎች፣ ሲዳማዎች ወዘተርፈ በኦሮሞዎች ወረራ ምክንያት ማንነታቸውን እንዲቀይሩ ተገደዋል። ከዚያም አልፎ በጅምላ ተጨፍጭፈዋል። በእናሪያ ንጉሠ ግዛት ስር የነበሩት ጃንጃሮች በኦሮሞ ቆሮዎች በእናባ ጅፋር በገፍ በባርነት ተፈንግለዋል። የዳውሮና የገሙ ሰዎች ደግሞ ግዛታቸውን በኦሮሞ ወራሪዎች ተነጥቀዋል። በመሆኑም የዘመናዊት ኢትዮጵያን የህዝብ አሰፋፈር ጥንቅር ለውጥ ለመገንዘብ ከአህመድ ግራኝ ወረራ ጀምሮ ማየቱ ለበለጠ ግንዛቤ ይረዳል። ግራኝ አህመድ በኢትዮጵያ ላይ ወረራውን የጀመረው የንጉሥ የአጼ ልብነ ድንግል ሹምና የደዋሮ ምዕራብ ሐረርጌ ገዢ ከነበረው ከአዛዥ ፋኑኤል ጋር በ1517 ዓመተ ምህረት ባደረገው ውጊያ ነበር። ግራኝ አህመድ ዘንተራ ደምቢያ ሰሜን ጎንደር ጣና ሐይቅ አጠገብ በአጼ ገላውዲዮስ ስር ሲዋጉ በነበሩት የፖርቱጋል ወታደሮች የጥይት አረር ተመትቶ በየካቲት 27 ቀን 1535 ዓመተ ምህረት እስኪገደል ድረስ ኢትዮጵያን ለ19 ዓመታት ያህል በጦርነት አመሰቃቅለዋታል። ዜጎቿን ህልቆ መሳፍርት ለሌለው ግፍና በደል ዳርጓቸዋል። የእርሱን የወረራ ፍጻሜ እግር በእግር ተከትለው የመጡት የኦሮሞ ወራሪዎች ደግሞ ከ1530ዎቹ ጀምሮ ከደቡብ ከነገሌ ቦረና አካባቢ ተነስተው ከፊታቸው የነበረውን የሌላውን ነገድና ጎሳ ህዝብ እድሜና ጾታ ሳይለዩ በጅምላ እየፈጁ እስከ ትግራይ ድረስ ዘልቀዋል። ኦሮሞዎች አብዛኛውን የኢትዮጵያ ክፍል በተከታታይ ወረራዎች ለመያዝ የፈጀባቸው ጊዜ ከ300 ዓመታት ይበልጣል። ስለዚህ ዛሬ ያለውን የኢትዮጵያን የህዝብ አሰፋፈር በቅጡ ለመረዳት ያለፈውን የ120 ዓመታት ብቻ ታሪክ ሳይሆን አህመድ ግራኝ ኢትዮጵያን ከወረረበት ከ1517 ጀምሮ የነበረውን ሁኔታ መመርመር የግድ ያስፈልጋል። ሆኖም ባለፉት 30 እና 50 ዓመታት በኢትዮጵያ የፖለቲካ እንቅስቃሴ መሪዎች ነን ብለው የተነሱ ልሂቃን የኢትዮጵያን የረጅም ዘመን የታሪክ ጉዞ በ100 ዓመታት ብቻ በመገደብ በጉንጭ አልፋ ውዝግብ ህዝብን ሲያተራምሱ ይታያሉ። በተለይም ለዚህ ውዝግብ ቀዳሚዎቹ የትግሬና የኦሮሞ ልሂቃን ሲሆኑ እንደዋለልኝ መኮንን አይነቶቹ ጥራዝ ነጠቅ የአማራ ልሂቃንም በዚህ ክበብ ውስጥ ይገኙበታል። ታሪካቸውን በቅልጡ ያልተረዱ ጥቂት አክራሪና ዘረኛ የሆኑ የኦሮሞ ልሂቃን ከጀርመናውያን የሃይማኖት ሰባኪዎቻቸው የተጋቱትን ለኢትዮጵያዊነትና ለአማራ ያላቸውን ጥላቻ እንደ በቀቀን ደጋግመው ሲጮሁ ይሰማሉ። ለመሆኑ የዚህ አስተሳሰብ ምንጩ ከየት ነው? በዘመነ ቅኝ አገዛዝ አፍሪካ ቅርምት ወቅት እንግሊዞች ግብፅን መቆጣጠር ማለት ቀይ ባህርን መቆጣጠር ማለት ነው። ቀይ ባህርን መቆጣጠር ማለት ደግሞ መላውን የመካከለኛውን ምስራቅ መቆጣጠር ነው ብለው በማመን ግብፅን የገንዘብ ብድር ዕዳን ሰበብ በማድረግ ከቱርኮች ነጥቀው ቅኝ ግዛታቸው አደረጓት። እንደዚያም ሁሉ የሮማ ካቶሊክ ቤተክርስቲያን ሰባኪዎች ቻይናን ስጡንና ኤሲያ የኛ ትሆናለች ብለው ሰላዮቻቸውን በሃይማኖት ሰባኪነት ሽፋን በቻይና አሰማሩ። ቻይናም ቀስ በቀስ በምዕራባውያን ተጽዕኖ ስር ወደቀች። የኦነግና የኦህዴድ የንስሐ አባታቸው የሆነው ጀርመናዊው ሰላይ ዮሐን ክራፍ በበኩሉ ጋሎችን ስጡንና መላው የመካከለኛው የአፍሪካ ክፍል የኛ የጀርመኖች ይሆናል በማለት ጀርመንን የኦሮሞን ነገድ ተጠቅሞ ምስራቅንና መካከለኛውን የአፍሪካ ክፍል በቅኝ ግዛቱ ስር የሚያውልበትን መንገድ መጥረጉን እናያለን። ስለሆነም የነጻ ኦሮሚያ ዓላማ አራማጆችን ኦሮሚያ ከሚባለው አዲስ ወያኔ ሰራሽ ግዛት ጀምሮ የሚያራግቡት ተግባር ሁሉ በ19ኛው መቶ ክፍለ ዘመን ሰፊውን የኢትዮጵያ አካል ቆርሶ ለጀርመን የቅኝ ግዛት ለማድረግ የታቀደው ሴራ በዚህ በእኛ ዘመን ታድሶ መቅረቡን መገንዘብ ያስፈልጋል። ከዚህ በተጨማሪ
still on this Oromania thing, okay, from it says Kraft, the guy Kraft, okay, says I conclude my notices of the southern countries of Abyssinia with a brief description of the Galas, in addition to which during my residence in Shawa I paid particular attention as I consider them destined by providence after their conversion to Christianity to attain the importance and fulfill the mission which heaven has pointed out to the Germans in Europe. Okay, so he has this thing that he believes that they should do for him. In the course of time, the Galas have taken possession of a large section of Eastern Africa, separated into many tribes independent of each other. They extend, so to say, from the 8th degree of north to the 3rd degree of south latitude, numbering in the whole from 6 to 8 million, an amount of which scarcely any other African race can boast. When in the 16th century, Muhammad Graga overran and destroyed the land coming from the south. With their innumerable horsemen, the Gala seized on some of the finest portion of Abyssinia. This movement may have been part of a more general one in the center of Africa, which drove the tribes of the interior towards the coast. The Gala migrating towards the north and east, and it would seem to have been providentially ordained by this migration of the Gala to oppose barrier and an onward rush to
the Gala's culture and penis trophies. Beginning of quote. The Gala are said to have no houses, but wander through the woods in wildest state of barbarianism. Professed enemies to every nation and tribe around them, they hunt and are hunted, frequently committing indiscriminate slaughter upon unresisting multitude today, and themselves become victims of similar treatment on the morrow. Like their brother savages of America, they consider a relic from the body of a slain foe the most honorable and distinguishing emblem they can wear of their military prowess. When at their feasts, the most successful amongst their warriors is rendered the conspicuous by a number of certain tribe members dangling from his arm, and the scalps of hairy breasts and bearded shins covering all parts of his body. They unite subtlety and want of faith with their ferocity of temper. Consequently, the commerce between them and the Arabs is carried on entirely in the towns of the latter. These they will sometimes venture to harass, but seldom with less than 2,000 men, armed with bows, arrows, and assegais. End of quote. Title of the book source: Narrative of Voyages to Explore the Shores of Africa, Arabia, and Madagascar, performed in H.M. ships Leven and Barracuda. Author: William Fitzwilliam Owen. Publisher: Samuel Bentley. Published: City, London. Date published: 1833.
This will expose the Oromo cannibalism history. From the very book. So the Galas, cannibalism is still practiced. It's prevalent amongst Galas, and that's the book as a reference. Okay.
Ladies and gents, as you can see, Orma means foreigner, and this is OromoDictionaries.com. You type in Orma, in English it means foreigner. Gala, on the other hand, Gala means camel. See, Gala, yeah, you put Gala there, and what does it mean? It means camel. So it actually coincides because there's not that many camels in Ethiopia, especially in the inner land of Ethiopia. There's no camels. You will not see camels in most of Ethiopia. So only the nomads, the outsiders, would actually use camels. And Oromos, in their own language, Gala, which the CIA, the entire Oromian history, they are labeled as Gala, and Gala means camel in their own language. And then Orma, which gave later on Oromo, and Orma means, as you can see, it means foreigner, immigrant. So they're not from Ethiopia. So, and they invaded Ethiopia by force. They killed our King Fasil, and they took our land by force. These guys were formerly runaway. That's amazing. It says these guys were formerly runaway slaves of Somalis. Which is interesting. This is the book, what it looks like, the front page. The title, the man who wrote it, and as you can see, it was written in 1898. 1898. I want you to look at how many things are written about Galas by the UNESCO in English and in French. This is the website. And you see so many documents on the history of Gala, their behavior, and where they come from. They call victims, and they are nice. Who think that Oromos are victims, and they are nice people, and that the Amharas are terrible people. But the fact of the matter is, this is a CIA document, as you can see. It was, CIA, you can see all the numbers. This is 1949. And it says, units of 1 division of the Ethiopian army are disarming Gala tribesmen along the Addis Ababa Asmara highway. There have been ድርሰቶችን ነው ያው መቼ እንደተጻፈ ያው ማየት ትችላላችሁ ኮፒራይቱም ጌታቸው ኃይሌ 2002 ይላል። እኛም እናተኩረው ዛሬ የኦሮሞ ታሪክ ከምንጩ የሚለው ነው። ፔጅ 108 እንግዲህ ይህንን መጽሔት ወይም መጽሐፍ ያዘጋጀው ሰው ለመግቢያው ያህል የጻፈው ምንድነው? የኦሮሞዎች ታሪክ ከምንጩ ይላል። ኦሮሞዎች ከ16ኛው ምዕተ ዓመት ጀምረው ወደ መሀል ኢትዮጵያ ከመምጣታቸው በፊት አገሪቱ ቀደም ብለው በያዙት ህዝቦች በተለይም በላያቸው በተቋቋመ በኢትዮጵያ መንግስት መካከል ስለተፈጸመው ግጭት በይበልጥ ለማወቅ የሚፈልግ ከአጼ ሰርጸ ድንግል ጀምሮ ከግራኝ ህዝበ ኦሮሞ It's interesting also ኦሮሞ ህዝበ ኦሮሞ ለበውጮችም ያው ፕሮብሌም ካላቸው ማለት አሁን ለምሳሌ ግብፃውያን በዚህ ቪዲዮ አሁን ለምታዩት ቪዲዮ ፕሬዚደንት ሞርሲ በአባይ ግድብ ላይ የነበረውን ችግር በሚወያዩበት ጊዜ በቲቪ በድንገት ወጣባቸውና ሚስጥራቸው ተላለፈ። የሚተላለፍበት ጊዜ እንደምታዩት የኦሮሞዎችን መጠቀም ፈለጉ አሁንም ማለት ነው። እና ኦሮሞ ህዝብ መጤ ህዝብ በመሆኑ ምክንያት ለኢትዮጵያ አሪፍ መሳሪያ ነው ማለት ኢትዮጵያን ለመወግዳት ፎሬነርስ ወይም የውጭ አገሮች የሚጠቀሙባቸው ህዝቦች ኦሮሞን ነው። እና አሁን በዚሁ አሁን የተናገርኩት ኮንስፒረሲ ነው ምናምን ሊባል ይችላል። ስለዚህ እዩት እናንተ ራሳችሁ እዩትና እንወያይበታለን። ኮሜንት መስጠት ትችላላችሁ።
كلامي واضح ان كل الخيارات مطروحة وكل الخيارات سندعمها ولكن بالتدرج المطلوب. اذا لم تصلح الدبلوماسية ولم نلحق لها الدبلوماسية سنلجأ للقانون الدولي والتحكيم. اذا لم يلجأ ذلك سنلجأ الى كل الخيارات التي يمكن ان يتصورها احد للحفاظ على امننا المائي، لان الامن المائي يساوي بالنسبة لنا زي ما اقول موضوع احياء او موت. ونعتقد احنا كحزب النور ان موافقة مصر على اقامة السد يعتبر خطأ استراتيجي خطير لانه سيجعل اثيوبيا من ورائها اسرائيل وامريكا ضد ورقة ضغط قاتلة على مصر. لذلك استخدام اوراق ضغط مثلي هناك شعب الاورمو 35% من سكان اثيوبيا ولديهم جبهة تحرير اسمها جبهة تحرير اورمو. الجبهة الداخلية لاثيوبيا في منطقة ضعف جبهة هشة، وكذلك جبهة تحرير الاوتاتير يمكن دعمهم وتعتبر دي ورقة ضغط على الحكومة الاثيوبية.
As far as the Tigrays, let us not forget this. They used to beg us for food. Tigrayos, they used to come to Wallo and beg Amharas for food. Watch.
In Ethiopia, 7 million people are threatened by starvation. Thousands have already died. The famine caused by drought is the worst in living memory, and now the rains have failed again for the third year in succession. The relief organizations are doing all they can, but there just isn't enough food to go around. One of the worst hit areas is in the north of the country, where the problem has been complicated by 2 secessionist wars in Eritrea and Tigray. 40,000 refugees have converged on the town of Korum in the hope of getting some food and medical aid. Our correspondent Michael Burke has been back to Korum after 4 months, and he found the situation far worse.
Notice
Dawn,
Koram is
as the
outside
sun breaks through the
Tigray.
piercing chill of night on the plain outside Koram, it lights up a biblical famine, now in the 20th century. This place, say workers here, is the closest thing to hell on earth. Thousands of wasted people are coming here for help. Many find only death. They flood in every day from villages hundreds of miles away, dulled by hunger, driven beyond the point of desperation. 15,000 children here now, suffering, confused, lost. Death is all around. A child or an adult dies every 20 minutes. Koram, an insignificant town, has become a place of grief. The relief agencies do what they can. Save the Children Fund are caring for more than 7,000 babies. Every day they weigh them on a sling, then compare their weight with their height. By this rule of thumb, 1 in 3 is severely malnourished, starved to the point of death. This morning, another 114 babies have arrived. The choice of who can be helped and who can't among the constant stream of newcomers is heartbreaking. There's not enough food for half these people. Rumours of a shipment can set off panic. As on most days, the rumours were false. For many here, there would be no food again today. 2 months ago, there were 10,000 people here. Now the latest harvest has failed, there are 40,000. There's nothing like enough food in the country, not enough transport.
well በኢትዮጵያ በተወረረች ጊዜ ጣሊያኖች ያደረጉትን ስራ ተመልከቱ። This is the hanging, Italian hanging Ethiopian patriots, body dumping, እድሜ ለካቶሊክ ሪሊጅን ማለት ነው። This is the war criminal, Rodolfo Grazzini. That's the guy. And of course the priest is right there. You see it? You see it? The Vatican priest blessing them while they're killing us. You know? It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, this is what's going on. You need to be aware of our history. And of course, they beheaded. You can see it. So it's not a lie. They beheaded the General Hailu Kabbada.
Interestingly, General Hailu Kabbada is from Wallo, in the very area that you saw the Tigrayans coming begging for food in Koram. And Koram today is part of Tigray. They took it. They stole a portion of Amhara land because they have nothing to eat. Okay? And we will prove this very soon. As you can see, Ethiopia Observer, veteran journalist and a diplomat, Maragu Bazabeh, which is the brother of General Kabbada, Hailu Kabbada, that was beheaded in the video I showed you previously. And he mentions where his brother himself, where they come from. And he mentions Koram, a Amhara land now belonging to Tigray. So you can see, you can read it. what he said, and you can freeze the screen and read the whole thing, but I need to save some time to put in a lot of other information.